Hey everyone, Wander here, and welcome to BastionOS. It is a incremental tower survival game, and it looks neat. So we're just going to dive in and see how it goes. Let's see. Earth a few months after the machine Armageddon. Metal armadas, stretching all the way to the horizon, wage war against humanity. I always like the visual of the, absolutely massive flying glider planes. A continent-wide network of heavily armed towers protects the Bastion, humanity's last refuge. The towers are holding strong, but for how long? The machine army evolves. Humanity can't fall behind. The towers must get stronger, improve, or face extinction. Alright, so we can get artillery. Oh wait, did I already do a video on this game? I've definitely played it before. I did, they changed their cover art. That's probably why I've completely missed it. Anyway, so run program, let's see how it goes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so they've changed it so it actually looks like it's on a map now. Previously, you were just kind of in a void, and it looked, well, just kind of disjointed from everything. So yeah, we're this central tower just blasting things. As they kind of approach, they get tougher, and then eventually we have to reset. Now, is there a reason for me to shoot this truck? Because we have this, pile of trucks here. I mean, realistically, I should be blasting these guys. Oh. Yeah, I'm about to get toasted. Yeah, unfortunately, these things take multiple hits to kill after a certain point. And that's, of course, not great for me. I don't have much health either. Ah, there we go. Alright. So return to system, let's see what we can buy. I mean, artillery damage is probably good. How much do I have? Oh, I've got a ton. So I guess let's get just a little bit of everything. So more damage is good. The fire rate seemed like it was kind of vaguely the most useful. So let's just go for those. There's more upgrades that I can get. Alright. The question is, can I destroy these trucks and does it give me anything? No. Sorry, some games let you destroy things in the scenery for small perks. Does not look like that's the case here. Okay. So yeah, goals, I mean, pretty standard, just blast all of these as they come in. If we get lucky, we can get two first. Oops, missed. If I can hit two at once, that helps me dramatically. I just have to be careful about picking up the loot. I think I can get all three of those comfortably. Perfect. Grab that one. I like this music. It's very Outrun-y. I know there's been some amount of talk online recently. There was a game that launched called Mixtape that I won't be covering. It's not really my kind of game, to be honest. Ow. I might survive. Almost got it. Just need a little bit more fire rate or health or a bit of both. Yeah, cannon is too expensive. Health armor radius is actually going to be huge. And we want to make our way up to some of these bigger nodes. But that's for later. We also... Oh, I see. Research is the leveling up. And I think there are other progression systems. But a lot of people have been talking about kind of nostalgia as part of it, because the whole game's central theme is on kind of, yeah, I mean, it's a classic coming of age story of you know, the last summer as teenagers before you go off to become adults, living a real normal life with well, I don't want to say a real normal life because that's somewhat dismissive of teens. They absolutely are living a normal life. But, you know, once you become adult, you kind of get stuck doing adult things, and you don't really come out of it until you retire, at which point, well, you're not doing teen stuff anymore. And that's kind of a shame. But I kind of get that whenever I'm listening to this specific genre of music, that it is very nostalgia riddled for me. The interesting part is I was born in 1990, so like this style of music was already largely on its way out by the time. Oh, this is much easier. This style of music was very much on its way out by the time, you know, I was starting to pay attention to it. I think it was largely already gone by the time I started paying attention to it. But whenever it pops up, I'm just like, yeah, that's some good outrun. Okay, do I want to go for artillery? I mean, probably. Okay, armor is a good idea. Put one into this just so we can... I want to reveal as many of these, like, outer things as possible. Okay, that's maxed out. There we go. Okay, run program, level 2. But now my damage is very good. Survivability is atrocious, which is going to be an issue because I do need to be able to blast the bosses. And they are going to be shooting me before I can take them out, unless I can one-shot them, which is a possibility. I really like the fact that they've put everything on like an actual map. It instantly gives this a greater sense of this is either a simulation or like an outright just representation of what's going on outside this tower. Yeah, these guys are going to murk me real quick. Take that out. I was expecting with all the extra damage I would have been able to one-shot those suckers, but the answer is no. They're painful. Cluster. Artillery shells drop additional explosives when they explode. Expensive, but probably worth it. Let's go from here. But yeah, the previous instance of this game just felt very isolated. And so now it actually feels like it's in a location. This is actually, okay, so this is going to sound kind of left field. I mean, partly I've already played this game before, so my commentary is less about the discovery and more about just kind of whatever pops into my head. I've been wanting to run a Lancer tabletop RPG campaign for a while now, and I've been struggling with trying to figure out how to make it look good. This is like the best example of how to do, I think, battle maps for Lancer within like my artistic skills. Wasted that one, but it's fine. I mean, the goal here is mostly just to make as much money as possible. I might be able to defeat the boss, but chances are it's just going to shoot me. Yeah. Oh, we actually... Holy shit, we just blasted that thing. Hey, works for me. I think the cluster shot was the linchpin thing. So what do we want to do here? Cluster activation frequency. Artillery damage. Yeah, the main question is, do I want to get 100 health? I think we do. I think there's not a lot of situations where we don't want to just get a whole smack of extra health. Let's just boost my armor up to maximum. Alright, on to level 3. We'll see if I can do this. The main thing is health. But like, this is so simple, yet perfectly representational of like what's going on. It has that like delightful retro style while also still looking fresh and modern. I don't know how to describe visuals, especially for one that I lack the general lexicon for. I think it's mostly just a like this is doing a fantastic job of looking retro without being overly such, and giving a sense of kind of what the world is. Okay, what do we want to do? Boost the cluster? It doesn't give me more. Increases radius? Yeah. The bigger the radius, the easier this is going to be. Because we're getting large quantities of enemies coming at me, which is, I mean, honestly a good thing. It feels like the cluster shots actually are a huge source of damage for me. Almost to the point where they actually maybe do more damage. It's probably just the fact that it's got a multitude of projectiles coming out. And so, like, the first hit might hit for 45, but if there's 3 projectiles that follow it, that all do the same amount of damage, they're going to do, like, 130. Yeah, I might need some fire rate here. Yeah, I'm not expecting to survive this one. These purple guys hurt. Yeah, pretty badly. That's okay. Oh, we do actually have a bunch of cluster upgrades, so we can increase my cluster damage. Cluster amount, radius, amount. Collection radius plus 50%. I think I'll grab that. Yeah, keep boosting those. So what is this one? Processors. Ability to extract processors from destroyed enemies and elite weapons. So we definitely want to get our hands on that one. I see. So the reason why the cluster is going off pretty much all the time is because my fire rate is still slow. There we go. I wonder if the bonus radius, or the cluster radius, if that refers to how far the cluster shots will go, or their individual explosion radius. Hard to say. Honestly, this kind of reminds me of that tower game, T-A-U-R, that I played a long time ago. But more fun? Question mark? Tower had its merits, but it always felt a little constrained. It didn't have any fun upgrade paths. Ow. Let's see. No, I can probably buy some upgrades. Okay, crit chance, more max health. A little bit of regen, not that that's really going to make a huge difference here. Yeah, I think we're going to want the processor chips, and no matter what I do. On the flip side, I guess you could play tower for a lot longer. I think this is like a 4 to 5 hour incremental game, which is still kind of perfect for me. I love the idea of longer games, but I think the older I get, the more I kind of lose patience for them. You might have heard me talk about kind of the novelty threshold for a video game. But the idea of that is largely just like every game only has so much time before the mechanics stop being interesting to you. The mechanics, the level design, or whatever. And so, like, unless you can match a really good game with a decent chunk of story, most players are probably going to lose interest in a game kind of before it ends. And it, again, depends on, like, a series of things, you know, the overall gameplay mechanics. I'm just gonna cluster bomb the boss. There we go. Yeah, I figured the little guys weren't gonna kill me, but the boss was. So I'm gonna get processors because we know they're useful. Let's see, give me some armor. Give me the crit chance, see what we get here. So critical damage 100%. Yeah, that could be nice. What else do we have? Incendiary. Artillery shells leave fields of fire. Yeah, snag that. Boost the damage a little further. We can also unlock the cannon. Okay. It feels like they made this a lot easier. I could be wrong on that one, but it feels like a much smoother progression curve than the last time I played. Okay. Right, and we've got the chips now. Oh, I don't know where they're going to be. Okay, so they just drop from random enemies. Maybe the tougher enemies? Hard to say. Unfortunately, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed here, but that's okay. I mean, I'm not at all expecting to win every single run right from the get-go. The goal here is to just get as much currency as I possibly can. Whee! Okay, that was something. I don't think that was, maybe some of these guys are oh! The red arrow dudes are... They blow themselves up. Okay, got that. Wow, and here I was saying, you know, I don't really care if I don't win on the first try. The answer is immediately wins on the first try. Hey. Okay, so what is this? Unlocks augments, modifiers that can be bought with medals. Tempting. We also have global damage plus 25%. We might as well unlock as many progression systems as I possibly can. Those are arguably probably more valuable than most. Boost the cannon further. Yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of trying to find everything. Let's see, incendiary activation frequency. I was hoping to boost my clusters more. Maybe I have to keep looking and they'll show up. Damage radius. A little bit more health. Okay, augments. So we can have... Okay, available resources can be spent here in exchange for additional experience. Oh. Oh, it's these. Okay. So I have exactly one medal. So reduces damage taken from elites, increased damage to elites, increased damage to enemies with more than 50% health. Extra resources after a level ends in any way. Extra experience. Increase all experience from all resources, damage dealt to enemies. I think I'm going to just go for investor and go from there. Looks like... Oh. No, that's max, but it looks like some of these might have additional tiers. I'm assuming the reason why the demo felt like it had less progression probably was because they didn't want players to be able to, like, you know, completely beast the demo in one shot. That is a consistent issue sometimes with these games. Yeah, I wonder if I can just load the whole area. Oh, we desperately need some more pickup radius. I might want to do a couple of, like, lower progressing runs just so I can actually get some of these things upgraded. Ow. Because, yeah, I might actually need a lot of pickup radius. To make my clusters do a bunch of damage. Can get another augment. Just do experience from all. Oh, I see. We don't unlock this until we've got 15 points? Huh. Oh, because this one can be leveled up multiple times. The other one cannot. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can increase my incendiary radius a little bit. Okay. And, like, it wouldn't be a bad idea to invest in the cannon a little bit more. The cannon, I think, largely aims at whatever's closest to me. And so having it as a kind of last line of defense that's actually viable isn't a bad move. On the flip side, the bigger my general cannon is, and the more enemies I can just kill with it, the less The bigger my artillery, the less I need anything else. Let's see. Damage, duration. Okay, we've got some options there. Just a boatload of health is another option. Okay, that's done. Global damage ain't much. That's fine. Yeah, still don't have enough, but that's okay. It's been really interesting seeing the incremental genre popping off as much as it has been. I think it's because, this is going to sound weird, incremental games and roguelikes are like the two meta-genres, that are keeping arcade games alive, if that makes sense. Kind of. Where like, this is very arcade game. It's just, you're meant to play it over multiple rounds, but like, I remember old games when I was a kid. Stuff like Asteroids, for example, or Galaga or whatnot, that all kind of had a same feel of like, go until you die. It's just unlike an actual arcade game where you run out of quarters and then that's it. This is one of those where... Ow. Ooh, there's two of them! Alright. I might need armor. I mean, there's a bunch of armor. Let's see. Boost the fire, boost the duration. Got some options there. Yeah. Kind of feels like boosting my armor up pretty high is going to make that a lot more doable. But short games that are just games. I mean, I guess you get that with like platformers too, to a lesser degree. Though I feel like platformers are kind of stuck. But games that are kind of designed to be toys, sandboxes, and fun. Whereas I feel like RPGs are meant to be movies or books. Kind of depends on the RPG. You know, a lot of big AAA like spectacle fighters and action combat games, those are meant to be movies or kind of movie adjacent. Oh, it's the red guys that are shooting at me. That's the issue. So I should actually be much more aggressive about killing them if I can. Or I died. It's fine. Yeah, what do we have? Regen, bunch of max HP. Oh, okay. What is this one? Burn chance. Oh, and that levels up a lot. Okay, and I have another augment. Reduce damage taken at 2 elites. Increase damage. 2 elites. Go with that. Go from here. Okay. But so, yeah, I think the draw for me with a lot of these incremental games, and roguelikes, though the appeal has been fading a little bit, because it feels like a lot of roguelikes have switched from arcade games to slot machines after Balatro. Which, I mean, makes sense, but it's not as fun. It's pull lever, watch number, get big. And I think maybe the issue with a lot of Balatro E games is mostly just that they don't actually have much substance to them. They kind of do, but they're so low on character or player interaction that they don't quite have the feeling of agency that I'm looking for. Whereas this, the agency is admittedly kind of false. It's one of those where I'm picking a lot of upgrades, but it's the same upgrades. You almost always are incentivized to go for either the thing that gives you the biggest immediate damage boost or the... Oh yeah, that's way less of a problem. now that I have a ton of armor. Might still not beat these guys, dang. But that's okay. A couple more rounds. So what do we have? Burn chance plus 25. I mean, boost that duration a bunch. Did we get the pickup radius? Go for some of these. Unfortunately, I think I'm a little hard locked until we take out these bosses. At least things should be a little easier. Oh, the blue radius is my pickup radius. Yeah, that's going to be helpful. Because previously it was quite low. Yeah, having the fire AoEs just sitting there cooking things. It's actually huge. Like, wow, I barely have to worry about these guys getting close at this point. They just get torched before they even make it here. Kinda. Mostly-ish. I'm ignoring the purples a little bit more because they don't pose an immediate threat to me. Okay. Health's looking fine. Okay, we don't have enough regen to really get my health back after this, but that's okay. Get him with a shot. I was hoping this guy would burn a little bit more. Ah, almost got him. Yeah, do we just boost the damage? I think so. Get those. At least I've got a ton of health, which is helpful. That crit chance. Flat damage. More flat damage. Is it available? Huh. I don't remember that being available to level up until now. Interesting. Well, okay, I think we've got it at this point. My damage is much higher than it was. I also really like the fact that I can actually interact with the environment. I've blown up the telephone poles in the area. And they actually do have like a little visual effect for getting destroyed. There we go. There's a bird on my railing. It is chirping at me. Hello, bird. A couple years ago, we had finches make a nest in my wife's potted plant. And it was extremely cute. And then we had like a freak 95-degree day, like middle of spring. The exact same day that the apartment complex decided to schedule its like road resurfacing, which unfortunately the nestlings did not last, and it was super tragic. And I don't know why I'm inflicting this on you, apart from the fact that like whenever a bird perches on the railing, I'm like, ooh, are they gonna nest here? But we don't have the hanging plant out because we keep having cold nights. Okay, so what do I want to grab? Crit damage, kind of tempting. Global damage, kind of tempting. Burn chance. Cannon. Shield. Oh, but that's just really expensive. So I really wish I could keep investing in the cluster. I think I'm going to go for crits. Because if I can keep leveling crits, that would be nice. Okay, do I want to level up the cannon? I suppose so. That's it. Damage plus 10, 25. Get those. A little bit of burn damage. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm running out of things to invest into, but maybe that's fine. increase my experience gain. Yeah, we are definitely slowing down now, but it's okay. Okay, so the cannon is actually quite good. I was assuming with a mount, it would just be like bam, 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 not a spread fire. But maybe that's fine. Okay, and I should probably aim for these guys. Yeah, my one problem with going for crit is I have no idea if crit actively benefits fire. Can my burns have a critical hit? A lot of tough lads. Okay, just start lob-shotting the boss. Yeah. Kinda figured there'd be two. Kinda figured I wouldn't be able to survive it. Oof. Oof, that's expensive. Okay, boost that damage. Boost that damage. Yeah, not much for me to be investing into. I guess some survivability is in the cards, as is unlocking the shield or the death ray. Problem is, a number of these require me saving up a fair bit. And for people that watch me play incremental games, and maybe they subvert this, but this is where I do get stuck with a lot of talent trees in games. I've pretty much maxed this out. You know, there's a couple of things I still need or still can invest into. But at this point, the only places to go are like here, here, and here, and I can't get to that one until I kill a boss. That I've bought every other upgrade almost to completion. I think I always struggle with this with talent trees in games, just because it's just kind of like, it's an illusion of choice, that agency I was talking about earlier. That it's like, oh, I have so many talent options, but like, for the most part, the boss upgrades that are giving me those like... Oh. If I don't pick up the experience, we actually just don't get it. It does wink out of existence. That's slightly annoying. Because, yeah, that pretty much means I need to fire, pick a spot. Means I really need to wiggle my mouse around to grab things. Nice part is the cannon really is cleaning up for me. Okay. Got a convenient lob shot off. If I can take that boss out before it can really start hitting me, I have a decent shot of taking it out. They're not that tough. Yeah, I'd love to keep evolving my cluster shots. Well, do I go for a 30% damage boost? I could. My main question is, do these two... Well, I mean, then again, the other options are not terribly exciting, so we'll grab this one. Tasks that can be completed for additional stuff, and some more flat damage. Cannon module. Cannon projectiles rebound off of enemies once. Pinata. Spawns pinatas that drop treasure. That I always kind of wish I could keep leveling things up more than what's available. And maybe I can. Maybe we just need to keep going a little further and we'll find some more cluster stuff. But if I could have foregone the cannon in favor of more cluster, I would have done that. I think that's kind of where I struggle with a lot of these talent trees of, like, it feels like there's a lot of options that are left on the table that just don't exist. Oy. I'm not getting blasted exactly, but this is a pain. Because, yeah, my thing is, most of these cannon upgrades, they don't actually do much for me. Oh, that's more cannon damage. Let's see what we got out this direction. Nothing. And things are getting pretty expensive, too. Augments. All right. Let's see. I'll still always repeat. I want one of these games to go full sphere grid on us, where you can like swap nodes out. I still think that would be an incredibly cool set of mechanics. Maybe. Impossible to balance, but I think there's some question of like, do incremental games need to be balanced? They're already kind of not. The entire premise of it is that you just keep grinding until you win. Yeah, I pretty much have to have myself surrounded in fire. Not enough. Okay, what else do we have? Well, artillery damage is good. I guess the real answer is just the whole thing up here splits. Oh, I guess I'll boost the cannon damage a smidge. That this is talent tree tier 1, and then, yeah, I should probably save up to get maybe one of those, but we just needed to get to the northern sector to get more talent tree. Still feels slightly restrictive for me, but I get it. Okay. We gotta level up at the very least. Hot mess of enemies. Yeah, unfortunately I need to pick up all these resources, and they are... I'm getting mobbed in the meantime. Which is the issue. Whoosh. And once those triangle-y guys get at me. Yeah, a bunch of health regen ain't gonna help me much. Go for 10% more global damage. And like, that is good. But I think I'd be better off saving and waiting. Yeah, 500 health. Okay, we got another one of those. More damage to enemies with a decent amount of health. And maybe a higher tier augment is going to give me some options too. Because yeah, I think my problem is my clusters right now don't do nearly as much damage as I need them to. That. Yeah, I could use some fire rate. Okay. Yeah, the question is mostly just, do I try and go for some of the further out targets? No, like I pretty much want to keep them off of my back. Most of these enemies are kind of close range to begin with. So if I just aim at myself, I'll take them out eventually, kind of, sort of, not really. Okay. Do I get the health? Do I get the health? Do I get the health? Go this direction? Okay. Upgrade tower, global damage 5%. That's not what I was looking for. Yeah, if I had the... I don't want to say the wherewithal, the speed. I could gather all the resources quickly and then land a shot on the most dense group of enemies, but I am not that fast. Seems like it's just generally better to aim at whatever the closest possible quadrant is. Okay. Bit of a mess, and I'm getting toasted. Yeah, the problem is it's partly the shooty guys, because they sit just outside. Oh. I'm not ready to deal with you yet. Go away. Nor you. Got a sword beam. That's cool. Mostly. Well... let's grab this. Unfortunately, I feel like the Death Ray, yeah, is its own talent tree. At least they're cheap. Some of them are. That one's not. But it is... I guess we probably want to get a mount. Let's go for finisher. We're almost unlocking the next tier. Yeah, we'll have to see what the death beam does. Main benefit of the death beam mostly is just it's another source of damage. Hopefully will help kind of keep enemies low. That's pretty good. Yeah, because our big issue kind of lands on... I just don't have enough oomph to be able to kill all these guys comfortably. And yeah, having something like the death beam that does just a little bit more damage, hits a couple more targets, is legitimately going to help us a lot. Okay, killed one of them. Got them both. A bit of a surprise. Okay, so the question is, do we want the shield? Maybe. Tasks. Can be completed for additional resources, which is really tempting, or pinata. Pinata. Alright. I'll put 1 point into this, see what we can get. Some more death ray upgrades, more tower upgrades. Some more damage upgrade. At some point I'll max that out. Well, we're getting there, kind of. I might want to try buying experience. Oh, but I'd need a ton. Okay, looks like the big guys are back. Kind of work with that. Oh, missiles? Longer range? Not sure what these guys' deal is. They kind of sidle around me. Oh. Okay, so the orange lads will kind of move... Oof, they moving close, and they hurt. We actually did not get much for resources off of that, so... I might want to go back to the previous one. Probably better to pick a level on farm. Than die early. Is that one of mine? Oh, we are actually getting purple from some of these enemies. Maybe that's where we're getting the pinata, or we're getting purple from pinata. That would lightly make sense. Yeah, there's some question on whether or not I want to go for the bounce. I think I'd go for the task, as much as bounce is good. Oh, he got toasted. Yeah, these guys are not surviving. That's pretty good. Much more effective. So, get the last amount upgrade on that one. Yeah, width and damage. Those are good. Gonna get this last one just to see what we get. Doubles my armor. Ooh. But very expensive. And there, we finally bought the last health upgrade. Oh, nice of them to give me a bunch of them. Clustered together. Take everything else out. Let's see. Anything else to really say? Oh, that's the pinata. The thing that I keep mistaking for like a random projectile. I can't tell if I'm supposed to be shooting it, or if I just keep my cursor hovered over on it. Yeah, I'm digging the death beam. I think that's pretty good. Now, if there was an upgrade that made them rotate, you know, fires all 4 lasers out and then do a 90 degree turn, oh, that would be sick as hell. Wonder if those guys can survive. Like, can you break the guns off while the ship lasts? I don't think so. Okay, so we have shields, global damage, cooldown, which is expensive, width, which is going to be good. Yeah, some of those are very good. I think I'm going to go for the global damage 10%. Health regen, pinata, health 10%. Yeah, I'm just trying to go up there here because there's more features to be unlocked. Cluster damage, finally. The problem is, requires an unholy amount of pinata upgrade, which is a little painful. But boosting my cluster will be nice. Yeah, I think the thing with the talent tree is just always that I'm obsessed with the idea of having a build in these games. You know, something that is much more signature to this playthrough or my run, that people can kind of compare and contrast with me. And this one's much more of just a, like, whatever goes. I mean, whatever's cheapest. Everybody's gonna kind of do the same thing. Some people might say, like, oh, you should have bought this earlier. Those ricochet cannon shots are insane. Which is valid. But it's kind of one of those where it's like, it probably is inevitable that I'll pick it up. Unless, of course, the stars are a limited thing. And that I just might never be able to afford that one upgrade. And if that's the case, so be it. Alright, now I should be killing the boss here. Grab it all. Everything is good. Well, I definitely got a lot more purple out of that one. Let's see. Pinata speed. It's expensive. Go over here for armor, global damage. Pinata speed, pinata duration. Oh, but that's only a 10% duration bonus. Oy. Well, do we want to give this a shot? Sure. Unfortunately, I don't think I've boosted my damage enough to really benefit from this one, but we'll find out. Yeah, Orange Boys hurt. Yeah, the main question on this is, how much did I get? 3,000. I think that's worth it. Yeah, crit damage. Yeah, I'd pick this crit upgrade thinking I'd be able to invest in crit more, and the answer is not currently. Okay, doubles my health. That'll be nice. Especially with some of these other upgrades. Yeah, I'll just go for the cannon damage. Anything helps. At this point, I think we can go here. Yeah, it's the spearheads that we very much want to aim for. If we can manage to do so. They're definitively the most dangerous thing. The purples I'm just going to take out passively. Sure. Okay, retry. Yeah, I'm just going to need a decent chunk of resources here. Keep aiming for the spearheads. And we might want to save up that 10,000 or so. To be able to just do a ton of damage. Oof. I don't have the regen to survive all that. Let's see, how much am I looking at? Yeah, global damage plus 5%, health 500, global damage 10%. The regen plus 20, if I could get a couple of these, would actually make me pretty strong. Damage plus, oh, plus 50%. That's probably worth investing in. Okay, do I have more? Yeah. Oh, these are the ones that you can put a ton of damage, a ton of points into. Okay. Yeah, so we've definitely slowed down. I'm sure it's just a matter of like finding the right upgrades. Really, I think one of the big ones is just AoE size and attack speed, I think are going to be kind of big issues. But maybe the answer is actually I just need to invest harder into survivability. Blasting these guys, yeah. I mean, honestly, the shield generator I've been putting off for far too long. I think for me, it's mostly just the moment I'm starting to take large quantities of damage is kind of the moment I'm dying anyway. So it hasn't felt particularly necessary to me. Cluster damage. Yeah, let's go for the cluster damage. And there's the crit chance. Cluster shells drop additional explosives when they explode. Yarsh. At least we have, what? At least 4 different things that require a boss star. So they have some of what I'm looking for with these games. Ooh, coins. That's a new one. Because one of my issues with a lot of incremental games, and even kind of this one, though maybe it's actually getting around that a little bit, is it's too easy to buy everything, and thus your build just ends up kind of feeling like jack of all trades, master of none. And I always find that to be the least satisfying thing ever. Sometimes it can be good to be a generalist, but like... I think you have to kind of earn that. I think maybe that's it, is that I'd much rather be forced to earn being good at everything than being adequate at everything. Because then it just feels kind of disconnected? Kind of disconnected. Okay. I think we want to come down here. I think we want to get the plus 100 damage on the artillery. I think doubling my base damage is going to be massive. Because yeah, if I can one-shot things... Especially with the addition of my cluster shots. Yeah, I still haven't gotten to the point where I can really kill the piñata. I think it just disappears. Because I think it's only supposed to last for like X number of seconds. Okay, collect everything. I think we're good. Okay, he got absolutely demolished. Yeah, the goal is to kill them before they can even shoot at me. Okay, so tasks aren't a bad idea. Doubling my health. Well, you know what? I'm going to go for the health doubler and see. Pachinko. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we can pull lever, increase ball count, increase ball level, ball multiplier, point value, add bumper. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be worth it, at least for a little while. It got me 1. Yeah, it ain't much. I do actually really like the fact that a lot of these incremental games are starting to add extra mini-games. I feel like Pachinko, especially Pachinko you can modify, is one of the, like, best ways of doing so. Just because, like, Pachinkos kind of are boring, but a Pachinko that you have some level of full control over, that's cool. Ow. Boy, these guys hurt. So these are just Spearhead Plus. Owie. Well, I haven't been investing in health, but that was a lot of money for almost no work. Okay, well, anyway, I think at this point it's kind of a good stopping point for me. Obviously, there's so much more I could do. Multiple hours worth. I think if I'm going to do anything, I'll pick this up and continue on over on my side channel Wanderbots and finish this up. I've been on kind of an incremental game kick lately, and it's been very fun playing through as many of the like little incremental games as I possibly can. Just to, you know, see where their progression systems lead, upgrades, and so on and so forth. Let's see. Death rate cooldown. Kind of expensive. I mean, a lot of these are getting cheaper is the silly part. Let's see. Chain lightning. Ooh, that'll be fun. Let's see. Health plus 1,000. Health plus 500. More pickup radius actually is going to be huge. Oh, and that's a flat amount, which should get multiplied. Should get. And then I should probably come down and start boosting some of these cheaper upgrades too. Well, anyway, I guess with all that said, if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like. It helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new games every single day, then hit subscribe because I got tons to check out and show off, including this. I Would like to play more of it at some point. Oh. They actually... Oh, that's interesting. Oh. That's interesting. So you can actually affect how CRT TV this is looking. That's nice. I don't think I would change anything, but I appreciate the fact that you can control that in a really fine-tuned manner. Alright, well, anyway, I guess with all that said, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.